Hello guys, welcome back to a new video, and in this video I'm going to cover long division with double-digit divisors. Well, double-digit division is almost the exact same thing as single-digit division. It just takes a bit more steps and can be a bit more complicated. So I got 4 examples on your screen right now, and we will go through all of them together to get this done pretty easily and quickly. So let's get straight into our example number 1, where we have 864 divided by 27. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set this problem up like this. You put the 27 first and then the 864. Or let's write it a bit bigger so we won't have a problem later on. So like this. So 864 divided by 27. So the first thing we do is we look at how many whole groups of 27 fit into 8. Well, as you can see, it doesn't fit even once, so we're gonna have to use the 6. So we can now see this as 86. So how many times does 27 fit into 86? Well, 27 fits 3 times into 86. So we're gonna write a 3 up here. Now we have to multiply. So we're gonna multiply 3 by 27, or 27 by 3. Well, 27 multiplied by 3, let's write it up here. 27 times 3 equals 81. 81. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to subtract these two numbers. So we're going to do 86 minus 81. This equals 5. So 86 minus 81 equals 5. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring down the number right here. So we got 4. So now we got 54. Now what we're going to do is we're going to see how many times or how many whole groups of 27 fit into 54. Well, 2 whole groups of 27 fit into 54. So we're going to write this down up here. So now we have to multiply. So 27 multiplied by 2 will equal exactly 54. So again, now we have to subtract these two. So 54 minus 54, and this will give us a quotient of 0. So this means that we got our answer at a clean-cut, nice 0. So 32 will be our final answer. So we're going to move this up a bit. 1 second, guys. So we're going to move this up a bit so we can write our answer and have enough space for our second problem. So our answer will be, let's do it like this, 32. So that was the first example, and now let's go to our second example. For our second example, we have 1044 divided by 32. Well, again, first step we're going to take is we're going to set the problem up. So we're going to do like this, 32 first, and then our number, 1344. So now we can start by dividing. So the first step we take is how many whole groups of 32 fit into 1? Well, of course, it doesn't fit. So we're gonna have to use numbers to get it to fit. So let's see, does a whole group of 32 fit into 13? Well, again, it doesn't. So we're gonna have to use also this 4. So we get 134. So how many whole groups of 32 fit into 134? Well, 4 times. So we're gonna write a 4 right here. Now we have to multiply. So we're gonna do 32 times 4. 32 times 4 equals 128. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna subtract. So we're going to do 134 minus 128, like this. So 134 minus 128 equals 6. Now we're going to bring our number down, so we get 64. And now we just repeat it all over again. So how many whole groups of 32 fit into 64? Well, 2 whole groups of 32 fit into 64. So now we're going to multiply one more time, and 32 times 2 equals 64. Now we have to subtract these two numbers like this, and 64 minus 64 will equal 0. So this will tell us that our final answer of the second example will be 42, like this. So you can also not always end up on a clean-cut 0. If you don't end up on a clean-cut 0, you will get a remainder in your answer. Well, if we are working with decimals, we don't want a remainder, but in this case, if we get a remainder, it's okay. So now, let's go over to our third example, after I move this out of the way a little bit, like this. So, for our third example, we have 2,226 divided by 37. So the first step we are going to take is we're going to set this problem up. So we're going to do it. Let's do it right here. So 37 and then our number 2,226. So now the first step we're going to take is we're going to look how many times does 37 fit into 2. It doesn't, so we're going to get help of the another 2. So now I have 22. Again, 37 doesn't fit into 22. So we're going to need help one more time from the last 2 right here. So we get 222. So we're going to see how many times does 222 fit into, how many times does 37 fit into 222? Well, it fits 6 times. So we're going to write our 6 right here. Now we have to multiply. So we're going to do 37 multiplied by 6, and this will equal 222. Now we have to subtract the two numbers. So we're going to do 222 minus 222. This will equal 0. Right here. Now what we have to do is we have to bring down our 6. So we get 0, 6, or just 6. Now we have 6. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get our final step. So we're going to look how many times does 37 fit into 6? Well, 0 times. So we're going to write down a 0 right here. And because we can't get any help from a number right here, we can just write a 0 right here. So now we have 60 here. So we're going to multiply 37 times 0. And of course, this equals 0. So we're going to subtract now, like this. So 6 minus 0 equals 6. And this will be our final answer. Now, our final answer won't be 60 because we didn't end up on a clean-cut 0. Our final answer will be 60 remainder 6. This will be our last final answer. And you can get this answer. You get this answer if you can't get on a clean-cut 0. Then you will get a remainder. This is perfectly okay if you just can't get on a clean-cut 0. Now let's go over to our last example. For our last example, we have 4,368 divided by 48. So, first step we're going to take is we're going to set this problem up. So, we put the 48 first, and then our 4,368. So, first step we're going to take is we're going to see how many times this fits into 443 or 436. So, now we have 48, so we're going to have to use 436. So, how many times does 48 fit into 436? Well, 9 times. So we're gonna write our 9 up here. And don't forget, you have to put your number up on the correct spot, so you don't get the answer wrong. So now we have to multiply. So we get 48 times 9. 48 times 9 will equal 432. 432. Now we have to subtract. So we're going to do 436 minus 432. This will equal 4. Now we have to bring down our 8 and we get 48. Well, now you can probably already see we have 48. And how many times does 48 fit into 48? Well, one time. So now we multiply the two. So 48 times 1, that will just equal 48, and we can subtract the two. So 48 minus 48, and this will equal a clean cut 0. So this will get us to our final answer. So our final answer of the last example will be 91 without any remainders because we ended up on a clean cut 0. So this was basically the video, guys, on how to solve long division problems with double digit divisors. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you got any questions, you can always leave them in the comments. And as always, this was Mr. Mathz, and I'll see you guys in the next one.